Hello guys and welcome back to today's video. Now in today's video we'll be continuing with a part which is also known as blower of the blower assembly. Now in the previous videos we have already completed some parts, which is this the upper housing and also the lower housing. Now if you haven't watched those two videos, I would really recommend you to go back and watch the lower housing video as well as the upper housing video, and you have to start with the lower housing video and then jump to the upper housing video. I'll link both of them in the I button over here so that it will be easier for you to directly jump into those videos. Now why I'm recommending you this, because the process we are doing is basically creating a blower assembly, using which we are also going to learn some basic motion study or basic motion inside this particular software. So that is the reason it is very important. If you want to follow along for the next videos as well, it's better if you can create the lower housing and upper housing yourself, and it doesn't restrict you with the type of software you're using. You could be using Nx, you could be using any different particular software. That is totally fine. Now at the time of recording this video, I have most of the subscribers which are not most of the people which are not really subscribed to the channel. They are watching directly, so I would really recommend, it will really help me actually if you are getting subscribed to the channel. So without wasting any further time, let's get started. Now here we are going to start with a new file. Now to start with a new file, as we all remember, for the assembly, you guessed it right, we have to specify the location where we are going to save the file. So here in D drive, I have already created a folder called blower. Blower assembly. That is the location where I'm going to save my file. So here I'm going to save the file in the blower assembly folder, and here we are going to define the name of the file. So we are now going to create blower. So here I'm defining the name of the file, and then I'm clicking OK. So here I have successfully started a new part file named blower. In the meantime, I'll close my old files. They are already been saved, so it is not asking me for saving the file. Now as we can see, this is the blower, and we have two views typically. So we have the front view and the top view, and along with that we also have a section view, which is present right over here. So what we are going to do first is, we are going to first create the upper and the lower part of the blower, and then we are going to create the fins of the blower. So it will be divided in two parts, the creation of the blower. And believe me, the creation of blower is really simple. It will be even shorter than the lower housing or the upper housing. It just looks complicated, because it is in 2D views, but it is very simple to create. So let us try creating this as well. Now here we are going to start with a sketch. Let's say we are creating a sketch on the front plane, clicking OK for the sketch. Now here I am creating a simple sketch like this, a L-shaped geometry like this. So the simple sketch is ready. I'll make sure all the lines are horizontal, either horizontal or vertical. So you can notice over here, all my lines are either horizontal or vertical. Now selecting this endpoint here and the origin and making it horizontally aligned. So here I am selecting the endpoint and the origin and making it horizontally aligned. You can do any constraint you want to, based on what kind of design you are making. Next, what we need to do is, you need to create some dimensions. Now here this hole is of diameter 1.5. So that means the total dimension here is going to be of 1.5. So what I'm going to do here is, I'm going to write 1.5 divided by 2. So this will be the size of this particular part. Now obviously this will be way smaller than what is required. And this is how it's going to look like. Now next, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to see the dimension, the overall diameter. Now for checking the overall diameter, we have to see here. So here you can see the overall diameter is set to 11. So what I'm going to do next is, here I'll go to rapid dimension from the y-axis till this point. So here we are going to define 11 divided by 2, that is the overall size. So this is how it's going to look like. Now from the origin till here, the size is going to be 3 divided by 2, that is 1.5, half of 3 you can say. Now why half of 3 over here? Because here you can see this is the overall length, or the diameter of this bottom part. Finally, we need to give the height values, that is 0.5 over here and 2.5 over here. So let us define that as well. So here we will have a dimension of 2.5, and here we will have a dimension of 0.5. So let us zoom in and then create a dimension of 0.5. Now we have successfully created a fully constrained sketch over here. Now along with this sketch, there is one more thing which is required. So I'm going to create a corner rectangle somewhere over here. Now this corner rectangle, any endpoint, right side endpoint, will be aligned with this right side point. So you can see they are vertically aligned. Now the distance between the rectangle and the bottom shape, it's going to be 6.5. So here I'm going to define this particular gap as 6.5. Then the thickness of that rectangle is going to be 0.25. So here I'm going to define the thickness of the rectangle as 0.25. Okay, and you will understand shortly why we are making this rectangle. And here you can see there is one inner diameter of 8. After 11 there is one inner diameter of 8. So here I'm going to go and define the inner diameter of 8. Soon I'll be sharing this PDFs as well. Okay, so say subscribe to the channel so that you can, you don't miss that PDF. That will be soon after we complete the assembly and everything. Okay, because I don't want to interrupt the series in between. Now here I'm going to click on finish. And once I finish, I'll press Ctrl F to fit every data to the screen. Okay, and then I'm going to use the revolve command here. In section, I'm going to select this and this, these two sections. In axis, I'm going to select my Z axis, and here you can see the revolve is forming. In Boolean, it is set to none. Okay, Boolean is set to none. So here, this is how the lower and the upper part of the blower is going to look like. Now, once these particular parts are ready, now we have to think about making the fins of the blower. Now, to make the fins of the blower, it is very simple again. I have to start with a sketch on the face. So here I'm going to start the sketch on this face. And here I'm going to create a circle exactly of the same size. Now there is one more way of getting this circle, that is using the project curve command. But yeah, right now I'm using a circle command itself, and I'm creating a circle exactly of the same size of the outer diameter. Then now here we can see this is a detail of a fin. Okay, so we can see the dimension over here is 2.48. Okay, and this is going to be 0.25. And this is going to be 0.15. Okay, we don't have the angular dimension here, which is missing in the diagram. We'll assume the angular dimension, and I'll let you know what angular dimension we are getting assumed. So here, let us try creating that fin. So first of all, I'm going to create a line from the center till this point. Okay, so from the center till here, I have created a line. Now I'm going to use the offset command, and here I'm going to create an offset of 2.5. Okay, so sorry, 0.25. Not 2.5. Why? Because here we can notice the distance over here is 0.25. So I have created the first offset of 0.25, and here, okay, I'll make sure while doing an offset, certain settings are very important. While doing an offset, symmetry should be off, create dimension should be on, and convert input to reference should be off. Okay, so this is how your offset should look like. Then again, I'm creating an offset, this time of the circle. It should go inside and it should be 0.15. So here I'm defining 0.15 as the offset of the circle. Now once I'm done with this, I'm going to click OK. Then finally, I'm going to create a line here. Okay, somewhere over here. Then I'm going to make the line, make sure vertical. Okay, so the line is going to be vertical. And then I'm going to get rid of this extra part. Okay, now I'm going to define the length of this particular part as 2.8, I guess. So that is the overall length. Okay, 2.8. So this is how we have defined this particular part. Now I'm going to create a line from the origin going on the right side, and as we know, we don't know the angle over here. Okay, so I'm going to define we can say a value for the angle. So what I'm going to do is here the angle value is going to be, let's say, 15 degree for our example. Okay, so you can also take the angle value as 15. Now I'm going to trim the extra part of the line, and you can see we got a small line here. Now I'm going to continue in the trim command and trim the bigger part of the circle here and here, and the smaller part as well. Okay, make sure you trim the line as well. So once this trimming is done, this is how the entire sketch is going to look like a L-shaped geometry. Now once you're done with this sketch, you can click on finish, and then you can click on extrude. Now once I'm extruding it, I need to extrude it up to the next object. So remember one thing, while doing an extrude, you have to make it until extended and select the surface. Now I want you to comment in the comment section below, why can't we select, all those who are using NX, why can't we select until selected, and why we have to select until extended in this example. Okay, I want your comments in the comment section below. Now here the boolean is going to be none. Okay, and this is how this particular sketch is going to look like, or this particular extrude is going to look like. Finally, what we can do is we can go to pattern geometry. We can select this geometry. We can choose circular. Okay, we can select this as a circular reference, any circular object as a circular reference. And here I want 6 fins. So I'm just writing 6 over here and clicking OK. So this is how my 6 fins are ready. Finally, what I can do is I can go to unite command. I can select this and press Ctrl A to select rest of the geometries. And now everything is united as well. So this is how the blower of the blower assembly is going to look like. Okay, so I hope you got this particular video correctly, or I hope you understand this particular drawing correctly. So this will be the last part. Next lecture will be for the assembly. So thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.